Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be diving into some more applied energistics and getting some autocrafting done. So, I hope you guys are ready. So, today, my voice sounds a lot better than the previous couple of episodes. I don't know what the deal was. Something weird was going on with my microphone, and it was like almost as if it was peaking, even though my audio's displaying, and it's not peaking from there. So, I have honestly no clue what was going on, but today we're going to talk a little bit about getting autocrafting set up with your applied energistics build. So the beautiful part about the applied energistics in this pack is it has no channels, which means you don't have to worry about anything channel-wise. Normally you'd have 8 channels and you would have to worry about configuring around 8 channels or 16 channels or 32 channels and using a controller and having a big mess of cables everywhere that you would have to hide and blah, blah, blah. In this case, we can just connect everything together and we can make things look a lot neater. So with that in mind, which is absolutely amazing, let's get started with what we're going to need to autocraft. Really, we need to just dive into applied energistics. Let's do JEI synchronize auto keep. Okay. So we're gonna dive on in. We have a lot of the materials, I believe. The only thing I think we're going to need a little bit more of is the fluix crystals, which I think we set up. Didn't we set this up? I know I have my portal here, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have plenty of it. And then we have our crushing factory, which has a little bit of that, which we're going to need probably more of that in there. There we go. And that should be plenty. This is supposed to be exporting to that top chest, I believe. Oh wait, no, we never set our cabinets up. Cabinets. There we go. So the cabinets, yeah, we needed to set the cabinets up beneath these guys because I want this to be able to output down below. Output. If there's nowhere for it to go here. I don't know if it's going to split the inventories. I haven't figured that out yet. I don't know how that works. I don't know what extra means. But hopefully it does this side first. If it can, also this one needs to do the same thing. There we go. So, yeah, now that's going to put the material down below, which is exactly what I want. All right, let's head back. I don't know how an Enderman got in here. How did you get in here, Mr. Enderman? Well, now we're going to hear it. There we go. Anyways, we have that lovely sound we got to deal with now. I don't even know why I attacked him. I should have just left Mr. Friendly Enderman alone. All right, so with this, we're running into power issues for some reason. There we go. We should be able to dive into applied energistics autocrafting. So we're going to need some molecular assemblers, which means we're going to need formation cores and annihilation cores. We're going to need this for both of our autocrafting setup. So let's go ahead and make them. I'm going to make, I don't know, we'll split this up, do 32 of those, and then we'll do 32 of the annihilation cores. I don't want it using my pure, so I'm going to grab quartz. I don't know why it just automatically grabs that first, but it does. So there's our 32. Perfect. All right, so we need to make some molecular assemblers. We're going to require some crafting tables. Let's do that. And we're going to need some quartz glass. So let's make some of that. So molecular assemblers, they need some power. I'm going to do 16 of them right now. And then we also need what drives all the autocrafting, and that's the ME interfaces. Now, these things will autocraft to do two types of autocrafting. They'll do a machine-based autocrafting, where you input items and then get a return. Or they'll do your normal crafts that you would do in a crafting grid, and they send that information to the molecular assembler. The molecular assembler assembles it, and the molecular assembler, man, that's a lot of words, spit that back into the system and complete the autocraft. So we're going to want to do 8 of these for right now. Or I say 8, and here I have already crafted way more than 8. Right. So we're also going to need something to power it. We need a brain for this system. This autocrafting setup will not work unless we have a brain for the operations. So let's go ahead and do that. And we can go, okay, so there's our setup like that, right? Perfect. Let's build the brains. We're going to need the crafting units to do this. Are we missing iron? I'll be surprised. Yes, we are missing iron. Let's go ahead and build iron, amber. Because this doesn't take, this is a good example though of my setup that I have. It's a great example, great use of how this amber is going to function. So I can throw this in the enrichment factory, not the crushing factory, the enrichment factory. You throw it here. It should automatically send that amber. I believe amber goes in the enrichment factory. Yes. Maybe this needs to be set up. That should be input to the top. Oh, we have this set to off. Set that to on. That's supposed to be automatically pulling, but it doesn't seem to be. I think we have to pipe into it. Oh, we have to pipe into this. Okay, with that being said, anyways, we can pipe into that. That's fine. We will just... Oh, we can't pick this up, can we? They changed it. You used to be able to pick that up with the mod, but now they have changed it apparently. All right, we'll slap you up here, and we'll just use a hopper. That'll probably be the simplest thing to do. Wow, we start the episode off trying to complete one task and end up completing like 100 different other tasks. But I mean, that's modded Minecraft for you, right? So there we go. That will automatically feed that. And then it should be sending to here. And a little bit's getting sent here. Oh man, that's a bummer. Alright, well I guess we'll turn this off. By the way, you can hold shift and it will reset. It'll completely set that. That's a bummer that it sends it to there as well. I wish it would just send it to the automatic, or send it to that inventory first and then start, but it splits it. We'll figure out other routing methods for that later on. But yeah, this is working fine. And that should be sending our iron out. Perfect. We don't need to worry about that too much. All in good fun. We're going to have that automated eventually anyways. Okay, so with that, now we can get back into our setup. So we were making these guys. We needed the crafting units. Correct. Crafting units it is. We are building the brain. So we're going to need a few of these. I'm going to need some crafting co-processing units. This is going to allow a recipe to be sent to the ME interface. And the more co-processing units we have, the more it can go, oh, there's an available molecular assembler for this craft. How about I send it to this one and this one at the same time to make the craft faster? So when you have those, it's definitely a lot better. So it's probably better to have a couple of them per setup you have. Per what are these called? Processing units is what it is. Yeah, not processing units, crafting units. So let's go ahead and make some of these. They're super simple to make, so might as well have a couple of them in your setup. And then we're going to need some kind of storage. So a crafting storage is always handy. And I think we have some 4Ks left around and enough, I think, to make a 16K. So I'm going to make a 16K. I'm going to use a 16K storage. It doesn't bother me to have 16K. A 64K would be the best, but as of right now, I'm going to save that for later. Once we get the actual auto crafting set up, it's going to be way easier for me to just say, all right, I'm going to auto craft a 64K. Please make the stuff for me, right? That's going to be the easiest way to do that. So with that being said, this right here should complete a multi-block. Even if we have just these things, this will complete. If we want, we can also do a monitor so we can actually see the items it's crafting, but that's entirely up to you. I'm going to do, or try to do, two separate ones. I'm going to make another 16K, make another one of these, right? And I'm going to set up the exact same process. We're going to make two of these. So let me go ahead and make a co-processing unit. We're going to make two of those. So this should give me two separate processing units that all I need to do is just kind of hook up, right? I'm going to place them back here. We're going to have two of those. 2 of those, 1 here, and 1 here. They look nice and fancy, don't they? Kind of sitting there in the background, not doing anything. Perfect. These, on the other hand, they knew needed some power. And I wanted to test this out because I know we have some power back here. Because it is connected. This is our main system setup, and it's set up back here. I think I'm finding an issue. I don't want any of my stuff connected to this energy acceptor. That is like a no-no for me. Nothing. I don't want anything connected to the energy acceptor. And I already see there's a couple of things connected to it. And that's probably what we're having our energy issues. So let's go in here and go to anchor or applied energistics. And I know we have some cable anchors. I need to fix this before it becomes a bigger issue. So to prevent these from connecting, you can just use cable anchors like so. Cable anchor there, cable anchor there. And then when you connect this, it'll actually prevent it from connecting to these different machines. So now we just have a security terminal hooked to this, and then everything else connected to the security terminal, which is still connected to the dense energy cell. I don't want anything connected to the energy acceptor. I want everything to run off this battery backup. Okay, so with that being said as well, we should be able to carry over the signal to, let's say, this block here. And of course, we're going to have to cover this up. Actually, what I might do, just to make it look cleaner, is to run the cable on the top side of the block. That way I can just facade it, and it'll look super clean. So we'll run that here as well, and there we go. So to set this up, I think these will receive power. Let's just test. So these will receive power when connected. Because this doesn't require any channels, we can make some beautiful setups. Beautiful setups. So molecular assemblers, we're going to place sort of in a kind of pattern here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's place this here. Let's grab all of our interfaces. And we're just going to place them sort of like this. And we're going to zigzag them. You can pretty much do whatever design you feel is necessary. You can even cover these up if you really want to. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Do it however you feel is necessary. We could technically make this go straight back against this wall if we wanted. That actually might look even better than this setup. You know what? Let's just do that. You know, it's kind of like art. You know, you start off with the design. You're like, I don't know if I like this. Scrap it. Start all over. We'll figure out a better way to do this. So yeah, we can literally just connect them like so. Up against the wall. If we want to. Doesn't really matter. This is long. Because there's no channels. That's the beauty of this. There's no channels. So we can do whatever we want, really. Alright. We'll go ahead and make another ME interface. And there we go. Perfect. And these should be glowing once we get them connected. I'm going to go ahead and break this for now. That's fine. We're going to fix that later. Well, I'm just breaking all the blocks. And all we have to do is literally run this right there, and that should connect to everything. Look at that. Feeding power to it, giving it everything it needs. Beautiful. Okay. There we go. And we can go ahead and create some facades for that. Just like that. And we'll place the facades down. And we're good to go. So we're going to need a pattern terminal. Good old-fashioned pattern terminal. There's technically two terminals that would be great to have. An ME interface terminal is a wonderful thing to have. We're going to go ahead and make that 2, which we need an ME interface for. So let's make that. I think I have everything for it. So ME interface terminal. And then we need an ME pattern terminal. There we go. So I'm going to put this one on the back, right? So it's out of the way because we're only going to use this every now and then. This needs to be on the front. Now we can make this look a little bit nicer with facades. I'm still debating on what exactly the facade I should use for this. I wonder if amber would work good with facades. Let's see. Can we do lapis amber? We keep running out of power for some reason. I need to figure that out. Amber and cable anchors. Will this facade? It will. Interesting. So if you place this, we get this really nice facade going on. Look at that. Now, I don't want to place a facade up here, I don't think, because if I do, it will actually block the signal, I believe, from this working. Like, oh, maybe not. Okay, so we can close that off and leave that there. But anyways, that is a, look at that. We can kind of see through it. That's kind of cool looking, actually. A transparent facade block. I'm liking it. I'm digging that. So, now that we have that, we can actually utilize this pattern terminal. All right, so patterns. Patterns are going to allow us to auto-craft things. Let's go ahead and throw this in here, and we can kind of start off with a few different things, and then we're going to work towards how to auto-craft and set up machines to do work for us automatically as well. So right now we should be able to tell this to make specific items that we use often. I'm trying to think of some tasks. I mean, I guess we can start working with applied energistics, right? Applied energistics is a good example. So when it comes to making these different cards, that's usually something that I always go for. And also going for like annihilation cores and things like that is always good to have an autocraft for. IMI interfaces is great. So we need to say, all right, I want to make this. This needs to be made. And we can set this. This doesn't need to be OR dictionary or anything, but we can go ahead and make a pattern for it. Look at there. We can go, all right, I also need annihilation core. Now I want to pull this out and I want to make sure it uses quartz. Specifically. You can actually change this out, and you don't want to put OR dictionary on unless you do want it using this as well. I don't want it using that, so I'm going to keep it like that. You can hold shift, by the way, to show your different crafts. So say we've made these two different crafts. We can take it back here and we can actually throw it into any of our molecular assemblers. This is basically a terminal that reads every single one of our molecular assemblers. You can even name your molecular assemblers if you want with name tags that are built into Applied Energistics. So Applied Energistics has some, what are they called? Inscriber name presses. So you could technically name your interfaces, you can name your processing units and things like that if you wanted to. But there is a different thing. These will split up if you have molecular assemblers that are attached to different machines or whatever. This being like a crafting unit, this is going to just show up as a big block. Every single one of these is basically an auto crafting station. Now it will go into one of them. I think it probably goes. And actually, I have no idea which one it went into. This one. It went into this top one. So this, I mean, I don't really care which one it goes into, as long as it's going into an auto crafting, or as long as it's going into an IMI terminal. And so that should allow us now to auto craft. So if we open this up, we do already have annihilation cores made and formation cores made. What we can do is, if we already have some made and say we need to make more, you can hold Control Shift and middle click, and that will actually bring up the crafting menu automatically for you. Also, some other tips: if you just hold Shift and Control and you right click, it'll pull only one item out. If you right click, it's going to pull half a stack. If you left click, it's going to pull out an entire stack. And the scroll wheel does not work in here. So just keep that in mind. And that's some little tips and tricks for Applied Energistics. Now, let's talk about how we automate these processes. Or, better yet, how we can automate this. right? I do want this to be automated. And to do that, I'm probably going to need to run more cable all the way over here, under this, going under that, and then pulling through here, like so, like I've done before, and connecting into this cabling right here. This is cabling, and what you can do is actually get you a nether quartz wrench. And the nether quartz wrench, you shift right click and it'll expose the cabling for you. So with that being done, I'm going to go ahead and route this over, just like I did for the other sides. And we're going to carry our cable all the way over here. In this case, I'm probably going to just extend this through this block. So I'm going to bring it up because that's going to be easier to facade. Through this, and it's actually going to go into this block here. And I'm going to pull this up. It's going to go up and over. And all this is going to get facaded. Now this may seem kind of weird. I forgot that that's there. We're going to need an anchor. I don't want that connecting there. Put an anchor. There we go. And like I said, we'll continue this up. Also, I need an anchor there because I don't want that connecting again. Perfect. Anchor here. This, on the other hand, we can go, all right, what direction is this? This is the west. So our west side, we'll just turn that off. And so when we bring the cable up, it won't connect anymore. And yes, we're just going to bring this up and over. And right here, I'm going to have an interface. And right here, I'm going to have an interface. This is going to be an interface that imports. We'll have an export interface over here. That should work, I believe. We'll figure it out as we go. But I need to facade all this, get this looking back to normal again. And I'll be back. So when it comes to processing materials like this and using a different kind of crafting method, I have all this facaded. You can see I have the cables going up and facaded. And same with over here. We're going to need to put an ME interface. This is going to be the interface that is connected to things. And this is what we're going to say send items to. So this, when you right click it with a wrench, will point it in a specific direction. And I want this thing pointing down. I want it to push items into this cabinet. And it should do that if everything is set up correctly. And I also need to make sure everything is empty out of here, because once we get this stuff auto crafting, I want this to be a solution that makes the items that I want it to make when I want it to make them. So with that being set up, we also need another way to pull items out and go back into the network to complete the craft. For that, we need something to import items back into the network. And we can use an ME import bus for that specific task. So if we import items, all we got to do is connect them like that, put that there, and we should be able to cover this with a facade, just like so, to hide it. Now, I don't think you can't facade this, so that is going to be there, but that is just how this is going to work. Should work fairly smooth once we get this thing set up. Let's go ahead and get the crafting cards set up for this, this system. So we can go ahead and throw all this stuff back in here, and we're going to make each circuit from Applied Energistics. All right, so with the auto crafting started, let's talk about making 1K storage components and up. So really it's cells, right? We're going to be making cells. Perfect. So a 1K storage cell requires logic processors. Logic processors are going to require gold to make. Let's see. So gold equals a processor. And I don't know if you can, set this. You need to set this to processing patterns, by the way. But what we should be able to say is this equals this. So gold equals a logic circuit. So let's go ahead and take gold, diamond. We have to do one for each. These can get a little bit complicated, so just keep that in mind. This, we have the one to be able to make that, so that's easy. We don't need the extra for that. And quartz. There we go. So what I need to do is go ahead and go over here and place these in to get them turned into their counterparts really quick. We're going to put some speed upgrades in these guys, by the way. That's going to make them way faster. And where did the other one go? There it went. Okay. So yeah, we need those to complete the craft. So we'll go diamond equals that. Gold equals this part. And quartz, the pure quartz, equals that. And silicon equals this. So we need to tell this to this machine. 1 equals 1 in a processing pattern, and bam, you get that as a product. Same for this, and then bam, you get that as a product. Same goes for this one. Get that as a product. And this for this product. So all of these need to go into that machine. And this is how we're going to get our output. So let's go to Applied Energistics, because we have all of them pre-done here. Now we need to say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and make a calculation. Let me go ahead and move this out of my inventory here so I have extra slots. We're going to say how to make each one of these. So we're going to use this as an example. We need redstone in our inventory. That's going to help out a little bit. 1 just makes it easier. And we're going to say logic processor to make a logic processor, which is the output. Then this, that, there we go. This is what you're going to get. So to get this, we need one of these, and one of these. And that gets you a logic processor. We need to do that for each one of these materials. So to get a engineering, we need this. Well, technically, actually, now that I think about it, we could just clear these entirely. And we can go a very simple route. Instead of doing this pattern, which we just did, oh man, we can make this way easier on ourselves. And you guys are probably already screaming at me going, you know you can make this way easier. Because all we got to do is tell it for each one of these main processors, like this. By the way, we can clear these later on. We'll do that. Like to make a logic processor, we can go, all right, I just need a gold ingot because it's automatically going to craft that for us. And we need a redstone. And we need this. Bam, that equals that processor. And we just replace these two things. That makes this processor. And same goes for this. That makes that processor. And that's all we need to do for those processors, technically. So then we can go over here, and inside this, we can place those autocrafts, and they should work if we did everything correctly. Let's test this out. All right, we're going to do Applied Energistics, logic processors. Remember I said we can craft them. Right now it's set to 281. Let's do 10 of them. Make sure we have the resources. We're going to start that craft, and we should see this over here fill with the materials. There's 10 of those ready to go. It's already producing those, and there we go. And our output is going over here, and we should start seeing that 281 go up as we do. It's at 283. Perfect. So all we got to do is put some speed upgrades in this, and this guy is ready to go. Also, I do have a few more facades I need to fill up, but other than that, this is working perfect. And it's kind of hidden. I'm loving this. So yeah, that's how you do the processing ones. It's pretty much what it takes to make the item, so that way it can send it in, and then you need some way to send it back into the network, so that way you can finish the craft. I hope you guys understood that. I'm trying to explain some of these things the best way I can. So let me know down in the comments if that helped any. Guys, I hope that really helped you guys understand how Applied Energistics auto crafting stuff works and how to set it up. It is pretty simple in this pack. Now, other packs, it is a lot more difficult when you have channels. This is very pack specific with Applied Energistics. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, you guys know what to do. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, go check out my Twitch over at twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect. I'm not going to be streaming at the time of this video, but I might be streaming if you check this video out later on. I do try to stream almost every single day starting around 2 p.m. That is my new schedule. And we've been having some crazy stuff happen over there at Twitch. It's been absolutely crazy and fun. And plus, you get to see my face cam over there. Anyways, guys, I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.